Hey guys, so today we're going to do the unboxing and overview of the advanced Paris WTX Stream Tubes. So this is a network hi-fi player that came out, I think, in 2024. But interestingly enough, I don't see too many people having reviews of this on YouTube yet. Maybe only like a few people, like a handful of people, have ever made any sort of review video on it. So I wasn't able to find too many review videos about this thing. Maybe that's just because this brand, Advanced Paris, is more of like a European brand. Recently, they started having more of a retail presence in Canada and US. But I think this brand, as the name implies, it's a French brand. I believe they originally were there in the 90s I think they're Advanced Acoustics or something. They were under a different name. They rebranded to Advanced Paris. And they're a French brand, and they make most of their products in China. But I think from the reviews I've read online, they give you some, good value for the price. I think probably they're competing with NAD and Cambridge Audio, like that level where you have products that are banking on their European heritage or British heritage in those cases, and yeah, and also giving you some good value for the price. They're competing in, let's say, the $500 to $2,000 price range mostly. Although Advanced Paris, they make more expensive products as well. They make like, $3,000, $4,000 products as well. This one is definitely one of their more affordable products. This is about $500. Yes, it's still expensive, but it's not extremely expensive where an audiophile would be like, kind of balking at the price. No, $500 is considered to be relatively affordable when you're talking about audiophile equipment, right? So yeah, the Stream Tubes. It's a network hi-fi player. What's unique about this one is that it contains tubes. Not too many network streamers contain tubes. There are a lot of other network streamers out there, of course, on the market, right? Like the Weem Pro and the Zen Stream 3 that I did a video on before. I was also looking at the Cambridge Audio MXN10. That was actually one I was seriously considering. But this one does stand apart from those other ones because it has tubes. So yeah, I'm going to take a look at this. And the reason why I bought another network streamer, by the way, like I said, I did have the iFi Zen Stream 3, which is also from a UK company. And this actually works like pretty well in terms of the actual streaming and the sound quality. I don't have any complaints there. But the issue is that there is some quality issues with the unit, and it's not just me. There's people online that have expressed some issues with how this unit works, like just randomly it will start bricking itself. Like this light will turn on, but then after that nothing else turns on, and then it's completely unresponsive. I can't do anything with it. I tried resetting it, disconnecting it, restarting it, rebooting it, whatever. Nothing works. I tried connecting it to the computer. It doesn't show up on the computer. I tried various other cables. So iFi support said that they'll fix this issue with a firmware update, but because I cannot connect it to my computer and have it recognize it. So for some reason, the USB connection on this just doesn't work for me. Yeah, using the system upgrade one, right? Yeah, it doesn't work, and I don't know. I can't get it to connect to my computer, and I cannot update the firmware, so I cannot fix this issue where it just kind of stuck. This unit just boots up. But then it doesn't do anything. Just the light turns on, and then nothing else happens. No other light turns on. Doesn't try to connect to the network or anything like that. So it's basically kind of bricked, and I don't know how to fix it. So I'm gonna have to send this back to iFi for some warranty or repairs. So while I'm doing that, I'm gonna test out some other equipment to see if I can find something a little bit more reliable, and hopefully, this Advanced Paris one, which is about this is about what, $100 more than the Zen Stream 3. Zen Stream 3 is about $400. This is $500. So I'm gonna do some comparisons. Again, the major reason I chose this one is because it's small and compact, just like the Zen Stream 3. I wanted to find something that was relatively small and compact like this one. And comparing it to some of the other competitors, yeah, this is definitely more on the smaller side and also has tubes, which makes it stand apart, right? So compared to something like the Cambridge Audio MXN10, which I was looking at, yeah, this one is a lot more compact and also has the tube factor going on. So I found that pretty interesting. Therefore, I went for the WTX Stream Tubes. Also, there's not too many reviews of this one online. And I guess for me, I like to just try out different products. You know, some products that other people might not know too much about, and give you guys, you know, my review of it and see how it holds up. So this is what you get on the back here. You get power supply, WPS pairing, digital out, USB-A for connecting your external storage or flash drives, connecting to the Ethernet, your wired network, of course, Wi-Fi antenna, line out. That's the yeah, the only outputs are digital out for optical and coaxial and an analog RCA line out. There's no USB out, which is unfortunate because that's what the ZenStream used, and kind of wanted to use the built-in DAC on my headphone amplifier, which is a Wu Audio WA7E, because that has a nice built-in DAC in it. But anyways, I'll try the analog line out with this one, I guess. And it has a Bluetooth connector as well for some, this looks like a special Bluetooth connection. And then the remote. So let's check it out. Okay. So yeah, Advanced Paris is my first time with a product of theirs. Always been curious about them because they never had too much of a retail presence in North America until recently. I know they're more well known in Europe. And they generally make like, you know, products around $500 to $1,000 or to $2,000, like really around this price range where they can get some entry-level audiophiles is what I would call it. You know, more than the typical mainstream consumer would pay. But if you're like an entry-level audiophile looking to upgrade your audio equipment, then Advanced Paris might be one of those brands. Like I said, closest competitors are probably like NAD and Rotel and Cambridge Audio in that sector. Maybe Yamaha as well, though Yamaha doesn't make any modern streamers anymore, unfortunately. I really like their WXA50 that I had before, and WXC50. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. Otherwise, I really like Yamaha. I wish Yamaha would get back in the streamer game. Okay, let's take a look here what you get. Okay, this is a bunch of... Okay, so because this brand is from Europe, you have a whole bunch of different adapters. Like this one will be used in the most parts of the EU, as well as Korea, by the way, which uses the same plug. And then this one, I think, is UK probably. And then this is a US one. And Canada, of course. And yeah, 2 AAA batteries here. And you got the Wallwart, which is one that will work with all these different adapters. So yeah, because they're European brand, so they have one that just kind of modular, right? For me, of course, I'm going to use the US plug and just slide it in like that. Okay, then you get the remote control. You can take a look at that. Okay, so it's a fairly simplistic remote control here. Just get source to switch the source. WPS, I'm not too sure what WPS actually is, but I'll figure that out. Previous track, next track, play, pause, disconnect, Bluetooth. Disconnect and Bluetooth is the same button. Is that for connecting and disconnecting then? Or no, this is the Bluetooth button. Okay. Wonder why they have a separate button just for disconnect. Interesting, but they have a Bluetooth button, Wi-Fi button, line in, which is pretty much the same thing as using the source button to select, I guess. Volume up and down, and then mute button. Yeah, fairly simple. All right, you get an antenna here for the Wi-Fi. And then you get the unit itself, which is tiny. That's part of the reason why I got this one. I don't want to have like a streamer unit that's too big, you know, that takes up too much space on my desk. Okay, so fairly small footprint here for this thing. Yeah, and this is the front panel here. So apparently the type of tubes that they use is, they use 5703 sub-miniature tubes. Now, I'm not sure exactly how much tube warmth that this imparts on the sound. In my experience, some miniature tubes don't really have the characteristic tube warmth of full-size tubes, but we'll see. I just, you know, had some experience with them since I used them in different tube digital audio players before, as well as some guitar pedals that had these sub-miniature tubes. But to me, they don't really offer too much of a tube flavor. They offer like a little bit, but not too much of it. maybe just like a subtle type of flavoring. That's it. So anyways, Advanced Paris WTX Stream Tubes, which is actually a 2 version of an older streamer that they had, just called WTX Tubes, I think. Power button right here, which is it's one that you actually depress in. So yeah, so not just a button, it's one that depresses. Wi-Fi, I guess, indicator, Bluetooth indicator, and a source button press here. Pretty simple. On top, right, you have ventilation. I think this part will light up with the tubes. Right now you don't see it, but it will light up with the tubes. Yeah, nothing else on the sides. And the back is what we already saw from the box. So you got this proprietary Bluetooth connector here, which I think you got to buy separately, unfortunately. Now, I'm not going to use this for Bluetooth, but I'm going to connect my USB drive into here, actually, and of course to the wire network. But yeah, it's kind of annoying that you would have to buy a separate type of Bluetooth connector here, because I think they use this kind of proprietary Bluetooth connector. They do not include that. That's for a separate device. But yeah, your digital outs here are optical and coaxial, Wi-Fi antenna, you do have that, of course, and the analog line out. Yeah, again, kind of a shame they don't have a USB line out. The ZenStream 3 has it. The K2 technology on the ZenStream 3 is really nice, and that's something that's only on the ZenStream 3. Hope that it can compare well to that, because I do think that the ZenStream 3 sounds really good. It's just the quality of the unit itself in terms of, you know, actually working. So it's the thing, right? It's like you can sound really good, but if it doesn't work, then yeah. So I mean, the size of the device, you can see that these two, the ZenStream 3 and the WTX Stream Tubes, are fairly comparable in terms of size. I think the ZenStream 3 is still a little bit more compact. So yeah, it's in terms of the height, I mean. So in terms of like the actual height, I think the Advanced Paris one is still a little bit thicker than the ZenStream 3, but it's roughly the same size. You're getting like a compact streamer either way, right? And it is cool that the Stream Tubes has tubes. But the iFi does have the K2 technology, which I think is kind of unique to that. So we'll see. And it's not just because of the iFi device not working, of course. There is another reason why I want to switch devices. It's because the application for the iFi, that built-in application that they use, yeah, it's this iFi Nexus app. So this app right here, it's pretty garbage in my opinion. Like, I'm not saying like it doesn't work, it does, it's just not ideal. Like it's confusing to add a connection here. Yeah, like these connections, it looks self-explanatory, but it's actually very confusing to set those things up. And then even once you have it connected here, it's kind of laggy. So I would say it takes, yeah, a while to load all the songs and stuff. And then if you guys can see here, it's artists, albums, genres, last 100, right? There's no tracks. What about songs, right? There is no tracks or songs. Just I can search by artists, albums, genres, and last 100. What about songs, right? If I go to my media servers, which is DLNA connections, and go to my USB, I can see all the folders there, but you can't actually search within that. So there are some issues with the interface, I would say, of this app. It's not intuitive and it's laggy. So I don't like the iFi app, basically, the Nexus app. So that's another reason why I want to kind of switch the streamer. Even though this thing sounds good when it's working, I don't deny that. This thing sounds good with the K2 technology and stuff when it's working. It's just, yeah, first of all, it has to work. It's no use to me if it doesn't work. And then second of all, using that application is kind of a hassle for me. So yes, that's why I kind of wanted to try the Advanced Paris one, because I looked up the application for the Advanced Paris and it seems like it's similar to the one that Weem uses. So Weem has this, the Weem Pro has this app that is fairly intuitive, I would say. And from what I checked online, the Advanced Paris apps should be pretty much the same as the Weem app. So yeah, I'm looking for a better experience from the app as well. So that's why I changed streamers. So anyways, I'm going to test this out and I'm going to download the app and I'm going to load up my songs and I'll let you guys know what I think about it. So stay tuned. Oh yeah, so this thing does have analog out, right? And it's the analog out that I'm using for this player. It's going into my WA7E Blue Audio Firefly's headphone amp, and doesn't tell me what DAC it uses, unfortunately. Yeah, can't find anything about what DAC it uses. I assume it's a fairly decent DAC, but it doesn't tell me. It's like Cambridge Audio MXN10 tells me, right? I was using ESS 9033 or something. Nope, Advanced Paris does not tell me which DAC it uses. I just assume it will be a good one or a decent one. Alright, so now I have the WTX Stream Tubes set up, and you guys can see the tubes lining up here. Those are the two 5703 tubes, some miniature tubes, and you can see them lighting up here. Yeah, so I haven't turned on, the DPS button was for setting up the player. Unfortunately, that did not work for me, so I had to set it up using some Wi-Fi network that I created. So unfortunately, I cannot give you guys too much of an impression on the music and the sound, because I kid you not, this is probably, like, in terms of the app, it's probably the worst app I've ever used in terms of playing music. Like, it's so bad, I cannot really get even any music to play. Let me show you guys, okay, what happens. So I thought iFi Nexus was bad, but Advanced Play Stream, I started up, and well, actually, I'll show you what happens after, like, I started up from cold, okay? So once I open up this app, this is what will happen. So it was like searching for your device, okay, and then if you're lucky, it connects. If not, like, sometimes it might take a while. So yeah, okay, so that time is fast. Sometimes it takes a long time to find the device, and then it finally connects after like I don't know, 30 seconds of searching. But okay, this case it connected pretty fast. Okay, that's good. So you have your list of music here, right? You have favorites, you got your music that's loaded off of your music servers, and the USB key that I put in here. So I did put a USB key in here, or USB flash drive, so that it's my songs I prefer to have locally. But yeah, here's all your music services: TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Spotify, QQ Music, Tidal, Internet Radio, Napster, Qobuz, Deezer, Amazon Music. Okay, and I'm going to select USB devices is my source here, and I'm going to go to my music here. Okay, and I'm going to play my music locally. So this is the USB disc that I loaded here. You can tell that it's like every time I go here it has to scan, and it found 2,049 songs, but that's incorrect. It actually has closer to 20,000 songs. I don't know why I cannot scan all of them, but it only loads 2,049 songs. So I don't know why I cannot even scan all of them. So if I go to USB disk, okay, so this is all files I download on here, okay? I can't search for any of these files. I can't even group them by artist. I can't group them by genre. I can't group them by album. It's just, all the files just load into here. Okay, so let's say I want to play one. Here's Rose and Bruno Mars apart, right? If I want to play one, I click on it. I should see it clicking here. I can see it playing down here, right? So let's say Ariana Grande. I changed to Ariana Grande. Okay, so let's do that one. Okay, so you see the issue here. It's still playing Rose and Bruno Mars down here. Okay, what if I change Ariana Grande? I click that. Nope, does not work. So it's still on the Rose and Bruno Mars one. So this amount of lag is completely unacceptable. Like, I thought the iFi app was laggy, but this is like, this makes the iFi app look fast. Okay, I can click any of these tracks, any of them. It's still stuck on this song. It doesn't change it. Yeah, look, I'm clicking on all these other tracks. It doesn't go into anything. Like, it's normally it should go into the music, I guess the music player interface, right? And show me the music actually playing. Nope. It doesn't do that. I click any of these, it doesn't. It's still stuck on this track. And guess what? Even this track, it's not playing. Like, what is going on with this app? I can't get anything to play properly. Okay, now it says no music selected. This entire thing is so buggy and unusable. Like, select a track, nope, doesn't work. Select track, doesn't work. What is it doing, right? I'm selecting any track, it does not play. Or even if it is playing, it's like it's so hard to operate. I don't know, like from what little I've been able to hear using this thing, because it's so hard to play anything. See how laggy that is? Okay, now it plays Dave Matthews, but it's not really playing. You see, it's not really loading the album artwork. It's not this track. You can see that the song's not really playing here, right? Because I can't even see where I am in the song, so it's not really playing. It just loaded it. That's it. I don't know what's going on. It doesn't seem to work well. So I haven't been able to really hear. Oh look, it changed again. I think this is how laggy it is. It's finally trying to change some songs. Yeah, it's I don't know. This is a pretty terrible interface. From what little I've been able to hear of it, it sounds okay. I can't say that sound. Look, finally it's changing. Look, this is a song I've clicked like minutes ago. It finally loads. How laggy is that? You got minutes of lag on this thing. That's ridiculous, right? It's loaded onto a USB drive. It's not even streaming via Wi-Fi. It's how is that? I don't understand. See, look, it's finally loading all the songs I clicked. How is this level of lag acceptable? So yeah, from what little I've been able to hear of this thing, it's extremely difficult to even listen to music on this thing because it takes so long to select a song to get up. Oh look, finally it's playing. Okay, so it's just extremely hard to play any song on this thing, and from what little I've heard of it, yeah, it sounds okay. I mean, the tubes might add a little bit of musical depth to it, but it's, yeah, just a little bit. So overall, I think the sound quality itself is not bad. I don't think it's better than the Zen Stream 3 that I have with the K2 technology turned on, but it's definitely not bad sound or anything like that. I can hear a little bit, you know, more, maybe more dynamics or musicality with the tube sound, that, you know, tube flavoring in it. But I don't know. This interface just kills me, right? Like, how could it be lagging minutes? Right? Look, I am gonna select Beach Boys here, right? I'm pressing on that. Nothing. It doesn't switch. Bee Gees doesn't switch. So it's gonna switch like minutes later. This is completely unacceptable, right? What the heck? Calvin Harris, let's go with this, or Dua Lipa, right? Look, this thing's choking on the fact that I'm selecting music. No music selected. Okay, let's just wait, because it's like the interface is still trying to catch up. Let's see how long it takes with the music I just pressed on. Okay, it says no music selected. Okay, let's see if it how long it takes to load. I did select music though. Oh man, this thing's such a joke. You know, I was looking up the interface for this thing online, and it looked like it was reasonably responsive, right? So I thought this thing would be good. Yeah, I thought this thing would be good, but no, I mean, what is this? Is this still trying to load the music? Okay, Charlie Puth, let's try selecting that. Okay, now it loads Charlie. Okay, so what about all the other music I selected? And it's not playing that either. Okay, Chicago. See, it doesn't change, right? Okay, now it changed. Not playing it though. No album track, I mean no album cover, and it's not actually playing the music itself, because you can see yeah, it's not moving here. Still stuck at 0. I don't know, this is terrible. Probably the worst UI I've ever experienced. Right? Dave Brubeck. Are you gonna switch? I'm still on Chicago here. Yep, this is pretty bad. What else can I load here? See, it still hasn't switched. Gwen Stefani, Guns N' Roses. Let's do Guns N' Roses. Click that. Nope, still on Chicago. Never seen a user interface this unresponsive and laggy. Like, what is going on here? Yep. It just doesn't play the track, doesn't load the album artwork, doesn't load the songs that I'm playing, and even this interface, let's say even if it was loading, oh look, it's got to load up the songs again. So I can't even go back. Even if it did load the songs properly, there's no searching interface. There's no filtering interface. I can't filter by albums. I can't filter by, oh, it's gone. Look, it's gone. Come on, I plugged it in. What the heck, now the USB selection's gone. So the USB selection, that's what I was planning to use it for, is completely unusable. What about locally? Okay, let's select, I just found some songs, I just put some songs on the phone. You know, I thought maybe that's faster, right? It loads the album artwork. Let's see if that works. So I press this. Okay, is it actually playing? Okay, so it loads the album artwork at least. Doesn't seem to play. Okay, what if I select this one? Another K-pop song loaded. Does it play? Still stuck on this one, right? So it's not just the USB thing. I put songs locally on this phone and I'm trying to stream it. And yeah, what's going on, right? Okay, still stuck on the first song I loaded and it's not playing the first song either. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I would say like maybe it's for people who just like, maybe it works better for the streaming services. And I understand that this thing is a streamer, but this thing also advertises itself as being able to play with local files, right? Like USB or just loading stuff off my phone, and neither of those things are working. Home music server, like I can try that too, but I don't think it's going to be any better, considering that the USB is literally plugged right into the device. Like the USB should be the fastest. It's plugged into the device itself. How is it so slow? I don't understand. Look, it doesn't even recognize it. How is that so buggy? Like, this is just terrible. Like phone, okay. Yeah, I'm loading stuff locally from the phone, but you're still not playing the music. You see that? 0000 doesn't show me the full length of the track here. It's not playing the music. So I don't know what's going on here. This must be the worst user interface I've ever seen. Like, okay, maybe you can try doing this the streaming stuff, Spotify title and stuff, but I was just looking for a way to put a USB, like my USB flash drive onto here and load all my music from there and then be able to play it off of my headphone amplifier. I was just looking for that, and I thought that would be the fastest because, you know, the USB key is plugged directly into the device. You don't have to stream from the phone at all. It's streaming literally from, like, I insert it into the device. It should be streaming it from the USB flash drive, right? That should be fast. It should be actually faster than me connecting to a service here and doing it, but it's just so horrible. I don't know. This is terrible. So, yeah. I think I'm going to have to return this thing because this is completely unacceptable. I literally cannot even listen to any songs. Like, I have all my songs. Even if I load it onto the phone, it doesn't play, right? So, what? I have to use a streaming service, which I guess is what this thing is for, but like, I thought I would be able to play songs locally, because that's what it advertises itself as, right? It's not just a streamer. It advertises itself as being able to play music offline as well. But clearly it can't do that, because this is ridiculous. Look. Every time I go into this interface, it has to be loading all the songs from the USB. Are you kidding me? Like, how bad is this? Why even have this USB thing here if it's unusable? Completely unusable. Look, okay, so every time I load this, it has to scan the USB again, has to scan all the songs, which is not even all the songs. This is just a fraction of the songs that's on there. Once you get into it, this interface is pretty terrible. You can't filter by artist or album or genre. You can't search for tracks. And even if I load one, okay, this is Jerry Lee Lewis, Great Balls of Fire. I click it, right? What about, this is a Cheap Trick, right? Okay, finally loads that. I want to click that. What about Boston, More Than a Feeling? I click that. I want to switch to that. What about Pretty Woman by Roy Orbison? Yes, Roundabout. Alice Cooper, School's Out. Little Richard, Tutti Frutti. I want to play all these tracks, and guess what? It's still stuck on the second one I clicked. How could it be this bad? I've never seen an interface be this laggy. It's terrible. It's not playing, right? It's not even playing the song. So okay, now it's switched to Boston. Yeah, this is horrible. Okay, now Roy Orbison is switched to that. See how bad this lag is? Oh, it's actually playing this one. Wow, amazing. Now it's switched to Roundabout. I'm waiting for the Tutti Frutti. Switch to Tutti Frutti. Let's wait. See if okay, Alice Cooper. Okay, it's getting to Tutti Frutti. This is how long it's going to take. I don't know what's going on. The USB drive is loading directly into the device, right? This USB flash drive I plugged in. It's not streaming actually. It's plugged directly into the device. Oh, finally it went to Tutti Frutti. Okay. So it took this long just to go to the last song that I selected. And it's not even playing that song. What absolute garbage this app is. Okay, well, it's too bad. Regardless of the sound quality, I cannot recommend this player for local music file playing. I'm sure for streaming it might be different, but at least for playing your local files off this device, I cannot recommend it because it's absolute garbage. It doesn't work at all. At least the iFi application, I can load songs off of it, and it's laggy too, but at least it'll load and at least it'll play the songs I selected, right? This thing, yeah, it's complete garbage. I cannot even play any songs I loaded. So, yep, how unfortunate. Maybe I will have to check out the Cambridge Audio one, I guess, and return this one because it's just not going to work for me. Unfortunate, because it is really compact. It does look kind of cool with the tubes. Whatever little I heard of the sound, it sounded not bad. Just useless if I can't play the songs I want off of it. So yeah, unfortunate, but that's it, guys. It's my disappointing review of the Advanced Paris WTX Stream Tubes. Again, if you're just streaming stuff, your mileage might vary, but in terms of being able to play local files off of the phone or off of the USB, it just does not work for that, unfortunately. So yeah, unfortunate, but this might be the worst device I've used in terms of user interface. Alright guys, so actually the Advanced Paris streamer disappointed me so much that I just went ahead and I got another streamer again. This is the Cambridge MXN10. So I returned the Advanced Paris because, like I said, the app is basically unusable for me. And this is one of the options I was considering before the Advanced Paris. Of course, this one is not quite as compact, but has similar feature set. It doesn't have the tubes or anything like that. But hey, it's a company that I actually know and trust, Cambridge Audio. They're a British audio company. They've been around since the late 1960s, and they're well known for making a line of fairly, I would say, affordable in terms of audiophile terms. Affordable means like, you know, under $1,000 or under $2,000, like, yeah, not really beyond that. They really operate in the $500 to $2,000 zone, similar to Advanced Paris, but I would say that they don't really make any really high-end products that are over $2,000. They're really in that below $2,000 zone, and most of their products actually even come below $1,000. So I'm fairly familiar with Cambridge Audio because I have used their phono preamps before. Their Solo and their Alva Duo. which I used for my turntables before. So, and they've all worked fairly well. So, yeah, I have a good trust with this brand. They're fairly simple to use, and yeah, decent build quality. They're kind of like this, in their appearance and aesthetic is this no-nonsense industrial type of look. Reminds me of Yamaha amps as well, actually. And yeah, they've in my experience, they've worked pretty well. They're all built in China, but you know, that's what to be expected for this price point. So anyways, the MXN10, it's a competitor to the advanced Paris WTX Stream Tubes. It doesn't have the tubes and it's not as compact, but has similar feature set. It actually tells me what DAC they use. It's the ESS Sabre ES9033Q, something the advanced Paris does not tell me. Wi-Fi 5, Bluetooth 5.0, no LDAC or aptX support, unfortunately. But yeah, let's just take a look. The box it comes in is a lot bigger because it is a bigger device. And yeah, supports your typical streaming services as you would expect. Spotify, Deezer, Tidal, Qobuz, Googlecast, AirPlay, Bluetooth, and Roon Ready. All right, let's take a look here. 1968 is when this company started. Although they've changed hands several times since then, they've been owned by various companies, but I can at least say they're not owned by like a big company right now. They're still like relatively independent, so that's something to be said. A lot of today's audio companies like Marantz and Denon and Bowers and Wilkins are all owned by bigger companies nowadays. Like Samsung owns Harman, right, which owns a ton of companies now. Okay, so this is what you get in the box. Okay, this is just the power cord right here. Nothing special for that. And then the actual device itself. So you got register your product online, of course. Safety instructions for handling an amplifier, of course, you know. All right, quick start guide. All right, and this should be fairly simple, right? Just take it out of the box and set it up. Yeah. Okay, well, anyways, I'll take out the amp and then you guys can pretty much see the I/O on the amp itself, but that's exactly what the quick start guide just tells you. Okay. All right, so here's the amp itself. Yes, noticeably bigger than the advanced Paris was, but it's still not like a huge device or anything like that. The MXN10 is still like, for Cambridge audio standards, it's a fairly compact streamer. It's not an amplifier. It's a, yeah, it's a streamer and fairly light actually. It just feels almost hollow. So yeah, pretty light despite the size. Yeah, still fairly compact. I think it can still fit on my desk or a bookshelf fine. And fairly simple to operate as well. So this also retails for $500, just like the advanced Paris WTX Stream Tubes, by the way. So yes, it competes directly against it. Yeah, MXN10 and has a Wi-Fi signal light right here. This is the power button. This is fairly standard across all of Cambridge Audio's devices. This is how their preamps worked as well. Just have the simple power button here, and you have different options here, I think, presumably to switch between the different inputs. And that's it for the front. It's pretty simple. And then at the bottom here, you can see that yeah, it's a brand of Audio Partnership. So Audio Partnership is not a huge company actually. It's not like Samsung or Harman. They actually do not own that many brands, so it's actually relatively independent. And it's a United Kingdom. I assume this is made in China. So yeah, actually, yeah, it's right here. Here we go. Designed and engineered in Great Britain, assembled in China. Great British sound. Okay, yeah, all the I/O here in the back. You got your line output here, RCA, Wi-Fi antenna, your Bluetooth antenna, coaxial out, your optical out, service, which is by a cable, like an analog style cable, interestingly enough. This is where I put my USB flash drive here with USB media. Gotta have that for my use case. This is to connect it to your network with Ethernet, and then the power. That's really it. So I would say in terms of I/O, it's more or less similar to the advanced Paris. Yeah, fairly similar. So really, I think that really the thing that will sell me on this is going to be the application, right? Since that's the major issue I had with the Advanced Paris, was the app sucked. So hopefully the Cambridge Audio app will be better. So let me download it. I think it's called like Stream Magic or something like that. So let me download that, and then yeah, we're gonna check it out, boot it up, and I mean, all these devices I'm sure sound good. It's just you gotta have a good app with good UI, right, in order to actually use them. So hopefully Cambridge Audio's app will be much better than either the iFi app or the Advanced Paris app. So stay tuned, guys. We'll see. I forgot these two Wi-Fi antennas are kind of like stuck on this board here. I don't know what they were thinking about this. But yeah, you kind of have to like, you gotta like pull them out like that. I don't know. I think they should have just put this in a set, like a little plastic bag, but I don't know why they had to like hide it like this. But anyways, this is the two Wi-Fi antennas there. I originally was like, where is the Wi-Fi antennas, right? The Bluetooth antenna. Well, no, it's like stuck in this like small little box here. So that's where they are. Alright guys, so you can see the size difference here between the Cambridge Audio MXN10 and the iFi ZenStream 3, which is actually around the same size as the Advanced Paris as well. But yeah, you guys can see the MXN10 is definitely noticeably larger in terms of a footprint, but still, you know, in terms of talking about home audio equipment, it's still on the smaller size. It's still like relatively compact, right? Because like most home audio equipment, talking about receivers and amps and streamers and stuff, are going to be these large boxes, and MXN10 is still, you know, more compact than most of those. So yeah, it's not the size of the ZenStream 3, but it's still relatively compact, you know, comparing to the full size stuff. Okay, now let's talk about the app. So I did download the Stream Magic app. So this is the, let's see if you got how well you guys can see it. Okay. So this is the Cambridge Audio Stream Magic app. So it's called the Stream Magic. And then you just add your device here. It's relatively easy to connect it. I just connected to the network that the MXN created when it was first powered on, and it's fairly simple. Just, you know, easily found it on the network, and I got everything set up. Yeah, this was a lot easier to set up than the iFi ZenStream 3, because I remember with the ZenStream 3, I tried to set it up using the iFi Nexus app. It didn't work. I couldn't find the device on the network. Then I had to set it up using a wired network cable with the Ethernet, connect it to the network, and then go to the browser on my computer, find the IP address of the ZenStream 3, and then set it up from there. Like, that's a lot more complicated, right? With Cambridge, yeah, just using the Stream Magic app, it was fairly simple. Just easily found it on my network and just set it up right from the app on my phone. So definitely a lot less painful and easier to set up compared to the iFi ZenStream 3. So settings, if you go to settings here, this is what it does. So you can see right here the device name, airplane name, standby mode. You could do either network standby or eco mode, which preserves some power, I guess. And then automatic power down, you can set this right now, have it set to 30 minutes, but you can go all the way up to 2 hours if you want, or just turn it off even, just have it always on. Rune ready DSD mode. I don't have a Rune server, but people who do, there's that. Whoops. And then there's a preamp. So preamp mode is enabled. Whoops. When preamp mode is enabled, the volume of the device's analog output can be controlled using the app or the remote with the volume knob. Okay, so I have that off right now. Early update. You can try out the latest software ahead of general release. Firmware, of course, to update to new firmware, restart factory reset. Network settings, you can change the Wi-Fi settings there. And general time zone, language, Google Cast, and some device information. So immediately it tried to update the firmware when it first started up, so it has the latest firmware on it. Audio settings, so you can turn on the equalizer here as well. So there's an EQ, and yeah, it's a fairly basic EQ. It's not even a 10-band EQ. It looks like it's a 7-band EQ. So yeah, but you can change presets: bass boost, bass reduction, voice clarity, treble boost, treble reduction, TV, movie, or gaming. So some custom EQ there. Balance, you can change the left-right balance if you have something like you know, you have a headphone or speakers that have an imbalance for some reason. Room compensation is interesting, that you can change, like, depending on the type of room you have. If you have a room with lots of hard surfaces, sound waves may reverberate and cause your music sound different. And you can, yeah, it's kind of some kind of a room adjustment tool. It might be similar to some of those room equalization software out there, like Odyssey or Dirac, although I don't think it's going to work quite as well as that, because those you take microphones and place them around your room and stuff. But anyways, it's there. You have standby, and then your sources here. So your sources is basically how you listen to everything. So you can add remove sources here, and this is where all the different network stuff comes in. So you guys can see Amazon Music, Qobuz, Tidal, Deezer, Bluetooth, AirPlay, Rune Ready, Spotify, Tidal Connect, Qobuz Connect, Google Cast, Qplay, Internet Radio, and Local Media Library are all supported. So yeah, I have Local Media Library supported since, checked because I loading files from my USB drive. But yeah, you can see all the different streaming services here, which is quite a bit. I think it may actually be even larger than the amount supported by the Advanced Paris or the iFi. So anyways, I put mine as a local media library. You can also listen to radio here. So you got some radio stations here, pop, local, top 40, decades. So you got some radio stations here you can listen to if you want to go with that. Yeah, and then that's some more. But let's go to library, okay? So library, this is where you can access your music. So services, those are all the streaming services that you guys choose. Then you have your DLNA music servers, right? So I do have some of my NAS servers up there. But let's go to what I use it for, which is for USB drives. So this is the part that basically I complained about for both the iFi app and the Advanced Paris app, right? So what happened on the iFi app is that I can filter by albums and artists, but it's hard to search for individual songs, and it was a little bit laggy. And then the Advanced Paris just didn't work at all, right? It was just way too laggy to even use it, so basically unusable. So when it comes to Stream Magic, though, in my opinion, it works fairly well. So I find the folder here, and it loads all the songs, and yeah, see, there's a lot more that was detected than was on the Advanced Paris, and all the songs are loaded here. Yes, there is no filter, so you can't filter by album or artist, which is unfortunate. I kind of wish you could, but at least you can search for all songs, and that's the important thing, right? So if I wanted to, you know, go to Eagles, okay, so I can find it, no lag. So that's the important thing, no lag, and I can instantly just see the artist I was searching for. Okay, so there, I can just play a song by them. You know, if I play that and adds it to the queue, and then it just starts playing just like that. So fairly simple to get that working. So you have the album cover here, and this is the music player right now. You know, play, pause. You can do shuffle, repeat, next track or loop around. Yeah, and whoops. Volume control, disable. Okay. Yeah, you can kind of seek there, and you can see the entire playlist there. Yeah, it's fairly basic music player, but it works, you know. You can even change your source here, but so far, if you have like a Cambridge ecosystem, I only have the MXN10. But importantly, this app actually works. That's more than what I could say about the Advanced Paris one, and it doesn't seem to be as laggy as the iFi one either. So that's good, you know. All I can do is I can search for some songs here, like if I want to search for Red Velvet, my favorite K-pop group. Yeah, just instantly it'll come up with different tracks and stuff. You know, this, if I want to go to my folder here, it'll load my folder, and album art takes a while to load, I understand that, so doesn't necessarily always get the album art right away, but at least it shows up and is reasonably responsive, right? That's the important thing. So if I want to play something from here, I can just do play all. Immediately it should get added to the queue, and it starts playing, and now the album art loads. So yeah, compared to the iFi app, this is more responsive than the iFi app. Now, it doesn't have the ability to filter by album or artist, but at least I can search for all the songs, right? On the iFi app, I could filter by the album and artist, but I can't really search for all the tracks, which is annoying. I have to go drill down by either album or artist, or I have to go into the folders, which takes some time because the app is a bit laggy. So on the Cambridge Stream Magic app, I don't have any lag. Even though I don't have the filter for the album or artist, at least I can search for it. The search and no lag is very important, right? And this is just way better than the Advanced Paris app because it works. The Advanced Paris app just couldn't work at all, right? It was just way too laggy, didn't work at all. So this one, at least it works. So yeah, like, see how responsive that is, right? So it's reasonably responsive, and yeah, just click something like Adele, okay, loads, click a song, it gets added to the queue, and it'll just start playing. Yeah, it's probably the most responsive out of the three. So compared to the iFi app and the iFi Nexus app and the Advanced Paris app, like this is a little bit more responsive than the iFi app and way more responsive than the Advanced Paris app. So yeah, you know, third time's the charm. Maybe I'll just keep this thing because the app is actually the most usable out of the three. So in terms of sound quality, yeah, so I didn't get to test the Advanced Paris amp streamer much because, like I said, I couldn't even really get it to work. So I'll just talk about how I did it compared to I A/B'd this versus the Low2 Poggle Touch that I have, which is my digital audio player, which has a pretty good line out. So this is like a $3,000 music player from 2018, which is my main music player, and it's got a fairly neutral bounce sound signature. And I often use the line out to kind of, and also just I use it in general to compare against other digital audio players and against other streamers and stuff, because it does have a fairly neutral profile. Has an AK4497 chip inside of it, and most people who review this know that it is a very good reference player. So I compared the line out versus the ZenStream 3 in my ZenStream 3 review. And in that review, I said how ZenStream 3 going into the digital input of the WA7E, which is my headphone amp that I'm using with it, yeah, it just sounds noticeably better. Details and soundstage and everything is just more improved compared to the analog line out of the Low2. Not to say that the Low2 is bad, but just it sounded much better on the ZenStream 3, right? Now, if I compare the ZenStream 3, now this doesn't work right now, you know, that's why I tried these other streamers. It doesn't work right now, unfortunately, but I can kind of remember the sound from it. So yeah, if I compare the ZenStream 3 sound with the K2 technology turned on, which does make a little bit of a difference in my opinion. I feel like it adds a little bit more dynamics to the sound. Yeah, it sounds really good with the K2 technology turned on, actually. To be honest, I think my tracks all sound probably the best that they've ever been with that. If only this thing was more reliable. So I compare this to the MXN10, and MXN10 only, unfortunately for my player, it doesn't accept, my headphone amp does not accept optical or coaxial input. So I have to go through the line in with analog, right? So I'm using my AudioQuest Evergreen RCA cables here. So comparing the MXN10 to the ZenStream 3, now you have to just take note of the fact that I am using the digital out of the ZenStream 3, which is this USB pure audio out using K2 technology, and into the built-in ESS Saber DAC of the WA7E compared to the MXN10's built-in ESS 9033Q DAC with analog out into the analog in of the WA7E. So comparing these two, I have to say it's pretty close. I think the ZenStream 3, like in my recollection, might still be a bit better, like with the K2 turned on. Like, yeah, when I use the K2 turned on, I'm using my iFi Mini Shangri-La electrostatic headphones with them. I can just feel like every detail just come alive, you know, from the song. It's just another kind of experience with the K2 technology. But the MXN10 comes pretty close, and they're both noticeably better than the Low2 Poggle Touch. I'm sorry to my Low2 Poggle Touch because it really is a nice digital audio player, right? I'm still keeping it and everything. It's really nice for a portable digital audio player, but comparing the line out of this thing into these two compared against these two streamers, yeah, I'm still gonna take these two streamers. Like these two just sound like a different level from the Low2. They have more detail, more dynamics. Music just sounds more alive. And comparing these two, I think the ZenStream 3 with the K2 technology turned on might still have an edge. Just based off of my recollection. I wish I can get this working, but I can't. Just based off of my recollection. Just because I remember always just using this with you know, the pure audio out into the audio in of the WA7E, and then the built-in ESS Saber DAC instead of the WA7E, using with the K2 technology turned on. And I was just listening for hours at night with this thing because it just made all my music come alive in a different way. And it was just so dynamic and all the details were there. But the MXN10 comes pretty close, you know? I didn't get the same wow feeling, but maybe that's just because I already experienced the ZenStream 3 already. I don't know. I didn't get the same wow factor from the MXN10, but it comes pretty close, you know? It still sounds really, really good. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure which one sounds better because I can't do a direct A/B comparison, unfortunately, because the ZenStream 3 is bricked and I need to send it back for warranty. So unfortunately I can't do a direct A/B, but from my recollection, I had this wow factor with the ZenStream 3 that I didn't get with the MXN10. But the MXN10 is still pretty good, you know, like they're both better than the low topological touches line output, which is saying something because this is a $3,000 digital audio player from 2018, right? I know it's a portable digital audio player, but still, and this is like widely acclaimed in terms of audiophile circles. If you look at digital audio players, high-end digital audio players, a lot of audiophiles really love the low topological touch, right? Very, very reference neutral, great line out implementation, but even then, these two are just another level from it. And if I were to describe it, I would say the ZenStream 3 with the K2 technology turned on sounds a little bit more more musical, for lack of a better term. So it has like a little bit more dynamics, a little bit more warmth, more of an analog character to it. Whereas the Cambridge MXN10 sounds a little bit more flatter and neutral and analytical. But this is just going based off my memory, and if you just listen to both of them in a vacuum, you'd think both are quite good. You know, there's the differences here are very, very minor, I would say. It's only if you listen to both of them, then you can kind of tell like these like tiny differences. But, you know, both are great players, both are great streamers. I'm just saying, like, if I were to just talk about what are the differences between them, if I were, you know, just to give you guys an idea, if I were to nitpick about some differences that could be noticeable, yeah, with the K2 technology turned on, I think the ZenStream 3 sounds just slightly more musical, a little bit more warmer, a little bit more dynamic and fun. As a result, I think I still prefer the ZenStream 3. It's a little bit more enjoyable, but Cambridge MXN10, you know, in a vacuum, if you just listen to it, it sounds really, really good. So it comes quite close. So it just really depends on what you like. I think the MXN10 has a more like neutral, analytical character to it. Yeah, out of these two, I have to say the ZenStream 3, if it's working, you know, with the K2 technology turned on, still gave me a little bit of a bigger wow factor with the detail and dynamics from my songs, making it feel alive. But the MXN10 is pretty close. It comes pretty close, you know, and that's something to be said there. It's still a good amount of detail, dynamics, resolution, soundstage, and everything. It's a different level from my Low 2, and that's saying a lot too, right? Because my Low 2 is like a $3,000 player, and this $500 streamer and this $400 streamer, yeah, they can sound better than that. So, anyways, I'm pretty impressed by both of these things. I just wish the iFi player was a little bit more reliable and didn't brick on me. This is a common problem, you know. They had to release a firmware update to solve it, except mine can't even connect to the computer. And yeah, after trying a whole bunch of times, I went back and forth with iFi support. I still can't get it working. So I really have to return this one back to iFi, you know, get another one. So once I get another one back, maybe I'll do a more direct A/B comparison between the Cambridge MXN10 and the ZenStream 3. But for now, from my recollection, I still think the ZenStream 3 has the edge, but it's not like a big edge. It's a slight edge, right? The MXN10 is still a really nice sounding streamer. So, but more than that, you know, it's not just about the sound quality, it's about the user experience as well. More than that, I think that the Stream Magic app in the And the MXN10 is probably the best out of all of them, because even though it doesn't have filters for the artists and the albums like the iFi does, but at least I can search for all of my songs, right? I can search for all of my tracks, something that I cannot do on the iFi. On the iFi, I can only search for artists and albums, and that's really it. I can't, like, I technically could search for all tracks if I go to my USB drive into the folders and do it, but that's really laggy and slow. And actually, I don't think it even works very well. So I remember using the iFi Nexus app, which is this one. Yeah, this is the iFi Nexus app, and then of course I can't connect right now. But I remember when I went into, you had to go into USB, and then you go into the actual USB storage, and then I remember not even being able to search there, actually, so maybe I can't. And then artists, albums, genres, last 100 is all you got, right? And if you search up here, it's not going to search for all the songs. It's only going to search for whatever you have selected. And you notice that there's no tracks here, right? You can only select artists, albums, genres, right? So it only searches either artists, albums, or genres. You can't search all songs. If you go to USB, you can look at all your songs, but then I remember you cannot actually search for it. There's no search functionality in there. So yeah, what this app does better than the iFi app is being able to search my entire USB drive for stuff. So the iFi can't really do that well. Like you can dig into the USB drive, but you won't be able to really search everything. So at least on Stream Magic, I can do that. So like, yeah, I have a file named 25 or 64, right? Chicago, and it can find it because, yeah, this is actually in my USB drive here. Now, I think it doesn't really dig into the folders, which is unfortunate. It can only dig into the top level. So, like Chicago, for example, I know I have an album for them, right? So if I go to Chicago, yeah, Essentials, right? See, I have this Essentials album. And if I dig into it, okay, it has a song called... actually, this one, Saturday in the Park, right? It's a good song, right? So Saturday in the Park, and the other thing is that it's reasonably fast when I responsive when I try to play something. Okay, so if I try to search for Saturday in the Park, here, Saturday in, yeah, see, it doesn't find it because it's in the folder of this Chicago folder, basically. So it can only search top level. It doesn't recursively search, which is unfortunate. I wish it did, but you know, at least it can search the top level, which is something that iFi can't even do, actually. So yeah, going back to this, like back when this was working, I just click into the USB drive and then you can't even search. You can't even search the top level at all. Whereas on Stream Magic, hey, at least you can search the top level, right? It won't recursively search, but at least you got the top level search down. And then as long as you know the name of your folder or artist, then you can dig in. So that's good, you know? Or if you have the file just directly all here on the USB drive on the top level, then it can search for everything. So anyways, for me, it's not perfect, of course. There is definitely improvements to be made with the Stream Magic app, but I still like it better than the iFi Nexus app. Just being able to search at the top level for all my tracks. And of course, I like it a lot better than the Advanced Paris app because that thing didn't even work. So yeah, so Cambridge Audio at least has that going for it. So yeah, sound quality wise, I think the ZenStream 3 might still have a bit of an edge, a slight edge maybe, especially with the K2 technology turned on. But MXN10 comes close, and it also has, for me, a more usable app. Of course, if you're doing streaming and everything, that's different, and I think any of these apps will work fine for streaming, but I also think that the Stream Magic app is a little bit more responsive as well. And, you know, that benefits everyone, right? Who wouldn't want an app that's more responsive? So you guys saw how many services you can add here, right? All these different sources. So like, look, all these different sources you can add. I think this is more that this is more than iFi. So I don't think iFi you can add quite this many. So I think Cambridge has the advantage there too. If you just want compatibility with as many sources as possible, I think Cambridge wins there too. So yeah, overall, I have to give the MXN10 the win here out of the three. If you're looking for a nice streaming, device out of the iFi ZenStream 3, the Cambridge MXN10 and the Advanced Paris Stream Tubes My recommendation is the MXN10 because it has the best app out of the three, in my opinion. It has the most support for streaming services, and also if you're playing out of a USB drive like I am, then it has the best support for searching. Then if you just care about the size and sound quality, the ZenStream 3 will provide the best sound quality for the size. But I think the app is a huge part of the experience of streamers. It really is, because this is what you'll be using, right? Like the main reason you buy a streamer is really I think a lot of it is just what app you're using and how easy it is to play things from this app, right? Otherwise, what is the point of buying a streamer, right? It's for convenience. So the convenient part is being able to conveniently play your files from your phone. So I think the app is a huge part of it. So in my opinion, the camera just wins just based on that alone. But yeah, the K2 technology from the iFi ZenStream 3 sounds great. So that's in this compact size. That's something. Of course, there is reliability issues with it as well. And then the advanced Paris, I can't recommend at all, because even though it looks cool and it's compact, but if the app is shit, then there's no reason, to use it. You have to have a usable app in order to use a streamer. The app is actually, it's like the sound quality is important, of course, and form factor and everything's important as well. But the app is the thing that you'll be using the most when you're interacting with stuff, right? So it's important that the app be good. That's really the point of the streamer, right? It's for convenience. So yeah. To me, the app is actually the more important thing. And yeah, I think Cambridge wins just based on the app alone. It's just a better app than the iFi, and way better app than the advanced Paris one. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. But in my opinion, I think the Cambridge Audio MXN10 wins for me out of these three, just because the app I like better than the other ones. And sound quality, yeah, it's almost as good as the ZenStream 3, which I can accept that. Doesn't have the K2 technology stuff, but whatever, I can handle it. So I'll happily take a little bit of a decrease in sound quality, if that's even a decrease at all, just based on the fact that the Cambridge has the better app. Yeah, the Stream Magic app is better than the iFi Nexus. So that's it, guys. Yeah, very easy to set up, and then very easy to add my sources and everything to the Stream Magic app. So the Cambridge will just win based on this alone, because the app is so important when you're talking about streaming devices. So yeah, this is, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about the ZenStream 3 or the MXN10 or the advanced Paris Stream Tubes. Yeah, and that's it, guys. As always, thanks for watching. And yeah, no lag at all. It's fairly responsive. The iFi app, when I was using it, was not that responsive, I would say. There's a little bit of lag where you feel like a few seconds of delay whenever you select something. And then the advanced Paris one is just totally unusable, because there's literally minutes of lag. So that one was just totally unusable. So yeah, out of the three, Stream Magic just wins based on the app. Yeah, it's more responsive, easier to search, has more sources available. Easier to set up as well. I remember the iFi app took me a while to figure out how to set up and find my ZenStream 3. So yeah, Cambridge wins just based on the app, basically. So to give you an update, guys, I found a huge issue with the Stream Magic app. So the issue with the Stream Magic app is that sometimes it doesn't actually let me go into the folders of the music I have. So for example, I have Earth, Wind, and Fire here. Right, I have this one. I have this 3 CD one, and it doesn't let me go into the folder. I don't know why. So I need to be able to go into the folder, else I can't play the songs in it. Because like I said before, this search only works on the top level. It doesn't recursively search. So if I search for any songs that's inside this folder, it doesn't find it. And then if I search for the top level, like this folder right here, it doesn't let me go inside it. I don't know why. So it's weird. Like, I should be able to go inside. There's 3 CDs inside of this folder. It doesn't let me. And that's a huge issue, because I can't access the songs inside of this folder. So basically I just can't play the songs inside of that. I don't know why. This happens. Let's try like Beatles, for example. I have a lot of Beatles folders here. Okay. Okay, so Love, that's one, right? Okay, I can access that one. Magical Mystery Tour, that's fine, I guess. Revolver. Okay, Rubber Soul. Okay, that one is loading. Why doesn't it let me load the Earth, Wind, and Fire one? I don't know why. Let's try Strokes. Okay, this one loads fine. That's weird that it doesn't let me load that one. U2? Okay, U2 loads fine. How come it's only... Or Fleetwood Mac, let's try that one. Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, it doesn't load Fleetwood Mac either. Why is it only for some folders it doesn't load? Look, this one, there's 2 CDs inside of here. It doesn't let me load that. I don't know why. That's so weird. So, yeah, it's only for some folders too. It's not for all of them. Right? Like you guys saw the Beatles ones worked. What about John Mayer? Okay, every as is loads that. Okay. Continuum loads that. Born and Raised. Okay, interesting. Is it because I have like other folders inside of that folder? Is that why? Yeah. I don't know if it's because I have multiple CDs inside of those. Let's try Elvis. Okay. This one is fine. This one is fine. I wonder if it's because I have other folders inside of that folder, right? Because it consists of like multiple CDs or something like that. If I do Michael Jackson, that's fine. Greatest Hits is fine. What about Frank Sinatra? Okay, that's 2 CDs. That loads fine. What about Temptations? That's fine. It's weird that it doesn't work only for some folders. Yeah, it doesn't work for Fleetwood Mac. See, this one I click, it doesn't let me go in, and it doesn't work for Earth, Wind, and Fire. I click, it doesn't let me go in. That's so bizarre, right? So I don't know why it only works for some folders but not others. It's really weird. So that's pretty much a deal breaker for me if I can't play the songs in some folders, because it's like I don't have access to the songs inside of those, right? Yeah, because the songs that's inside of this folder I can't search for. It only searches the top level. So but it's only for some folders, which is so weird. So yeah, I don't know what's going on. Is this a bug or something like that? Should I report it to Cambridge? I don't know. But the Stream Magic app, for the most part, works well. But yeah, I don't know why it doesn't access it. And also, by the way, for the first time that you boot it up, it does take a while to load the media library. So initially, this media library will display nothing, and then it'll take like maybe like a minute or so to kind of load up these files. But before that, it'll say that you have nothing on this USB drive, which is false. You do have songs on it, obviously. I have thousands of songs on it. So it takes a few minutes to recognize I have thousands of songs on it, and then after I can kind of access it. But it does take a few minutes to kind of load up everything. But yeah, it is very weird that it cannot access some folders. Okay, this is all fine. Yeah, see, okay, see, look at this one. This one's 2 CDs, right? Okay, that's able to be accessed. So weird that for Earth, Wind, and Fire and Fleetwood Mac, it doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know. Just for some certain files, it doesn't work. That's really weird. So anyways, just wanted to give you guys an update on that. It does seem to be a little bit buggy when it comes to something like this. So I don't know if that is a bug on the Stream Magic app or something, but why does it not let me go into some folders like this, right? These are folders. Yeah, Fleetwood Mac, same thing. It doesn't let me go in there. It's so weird. So I don't know. Only these specific folders, it doesn't let me go inside. The other ones seem to be okay. It's so weird. Okay. Anyways, that's it. I just want to update with that. Like for the most part, these ones are okay. Even this 2 CD one is okay for AC/DC. Like, it's really weird that it doesn't work for just some folders. So yeah, bit of a quirk, I would say. I don't know what's going on, but that's something I wanted to just to let you guys know that it happened to me. So here's the interesting thing I noticed about this app, and I'm not sure if it's like a bug or glitch or something, but Yeah, like I have a bunch of folders stored in my USB drive, right? But some folders show up as just this folder icon. And if they show up as this folder icon, most of the time I can't access it, right? But other folders like this one, if they have the album icon, I guess I can access it, which is weird because these are in folders as well. So I don't know why. Some folders just show up as this icon, and sometimes I can access them, like this one, okay, shows up as a folder icon, but I can access it. Other times they, okay, this one shows up, I can actually access it. This one I can access, that's good. But other times they have this folder icon and I can't access it, which is weird. So, okay, Big Bang. Okay, this one, see, I can't access this folder. I don't know why. Black Sabbath, I can't. Right? Why sometimes I can access, sometimes I can't, I don't know. The ones that don't have a folder icon, I can always access. So if I can see like the album cover here, those are albums, I can access it. But these are actually stored as folders on the USB drive as well. So I don't know why with some folders, I guess, it can detect it and it thinks it's a complete album, which is nice, and then it indexes it properly. But other times it's just this folder, and then sometimes I can access it like that, right? And then other times I can't. I don't know. It's really weird to me. Maybe it takes time or something like that. I don't know. Like this one I can't access. Okay. So yeah, most of the time with this folder icon, it seems like I can't access it. And then if it shows the album artwork and stuff, I can access it, which is weird because they also are folders on the drive as well. So what makes those folders different than other folders, I don't know. Yeah, like why do some Coldplay, okay? Coldplay I cannot access even though it's a folder, but this one I can access even though this shows up on the drive as a folder. As these are both folders on the drive. I don't know why one I can access and the other one I can't. And now I can access it, okay? So it's just, does it take time or something for it to index? I don't know. So there's something weird going on. It's like some folders maybe just takes time for it to index or something like that. But then other folders, it just shows up straight away, like this Coldplay Essentials one. This one just shows up straight away. But this one took some time for it to index or something. I don't know why. So that's something, a bit of a bug or quirk I noticed. So yeah, it's really weird. Like, let's go back to that Coldplay one, right? Coldplay. Okay. See, look. I now can't access it again, right? I was just able to access this folder before, after it took a while to I guess index it or something. Now I can't do it again. So I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, it's another one, the Black Sabbath one, right? I remember this one initially I couldn't access it, and then later I could. Okay, this one I could. Right, this one I can now. Oh, that one's fine. Elliott Smith. Can't access. Yeah, so it takes some time, I guess. So yeah, it takes some time for it to access. I gotta keep pressing or something like that. But I don't understand this, you know, like these are all stored, like this one is stored as a folder on the drive as well, as is this one. So why this one takes some time and this one just right away it recognizes it, I don't know. So yeah, now it can access it. It takes some time. So I don't understand why some take some time and then others are like, it just immediately gets the album, I guess. Okay, let's search for it again. See, and now it takes some time again. See, I just was able to access this folder, right? I searched for him again. Now I can't. I had to wait again. So what's up with this? I don't know. This is like some kind of bug or glitch in the app, I think. And then every time when I exit out, it's got to rescan the entire drive again. So that's a little bit annoying. So yeah, I'm just going to say this. Stream Magic, yes, it's overall, like compared to the other apps, like definitely still better than the Advanced Paris one. And yeah, it's not quite as laggy as the iFi app. It's more responsive than that, but it's still not a perfect app. It's still got some issues, right? Like, yeah, well, why can't I access this, right? Why is some of my folders showing up as this folder icon and then I had to wait a while, or I can't access it right away, and then others, this is a folder as well, this BB King one. Actually, no, I can't access this one either. Interesting. But others, I can access, like, I can see the album cover. You know, this one I can access. So maybe just take some time. Okay, now I can access it. Yeah, this BB King one, I can access it. Yep. Yeah, but it's like the ones that have the album cover I can access right away, and then the ones without an album cover I have to kind of wait for it to load or something. Yeah, so it's a bit weird. I don't know. This one I can access right away. It has an album cover. Sarah Brightman I can access right away. Yeah, like I don't know why with the one with the folder icons I just can't access right away. I have to wait a while. And then the one with album covers I can just access right away. So I don't know why that happens. Like, what's the difference here? These all show up as folders on the USB drive itself, so what's the difference here? I don't know. So I don't know, I guess just some folders take longer to index or something like that. I don't know, they just, but this one, it's consistent too. These ones always show up as this folder icon, and then it takes time to access, whereas these ones always show up as album covers. So there's something that's within the folder or album itself. I don't know. It's consistent. It's not like, hey, this one takes just faster to load at this time. It's every time I load this from the USB drive, these ones always show up as album covers, and this one always shows up as a folder, which takes time to access. So I don't know what's different about these ones. They all are folders structurally on the USB drive itself, so I don't know what's the difference between these. Yep, so this combined with the fact that you can't filter by artists or albums or genres, that's probably the issue with this app. Definitely not perfect. I'll still continue to use it because it is still more responsive compared to the other apps, but still not perfect. So yeah, I just want to yeah, tell you guys about this this issue I noticed. This is probably the most annoying thing I found out about. Now, I'm not too I'm a little bit annoyed about not having the album and artist filter, but I'm not too annoyed about it if I can search. The real issue is like if you have something like this and yeah, I don't know why it doesn't let me access some of my folders right away, and it's only some of my folders, right? It's not all of them. So this is the thing I just want to let you guys know. I don't know why, you know, these ones are all fine, and it shows up with album artwork and everything. I can access them right away, right? But why with these folder ones I had to wait a bit? I don't know, and that's annoying, right? Every time, and now let's see, now it doesn't access. It's weird. So anyways, it's a bit of a quirky thing I noticed with this app, and it's probably the most annoying thing about it in my opinion. Alright guys, so I actually got my iFi ZenStream 3 fixed now, because what happened is that the iFi ZenStream 3 has this known issue where it gets bricked for no reason. It just happens randomly, it just stops working, and a lot of people complain about it, including me, on the threads and HeadFi and stuff. And iFi released a firmware update that they said supposedly fixed it. So anyways, I couldn't get the firmware update installed correctly or properly or whatever. It just didn't detect my device when I connected it to my PC. So I ended up just contacting iFi customer support, sending it back to them, and they installed the firmware update, so now it's working again for now. We'll see for how long, but hopefully, you know, it won't break itself again. So yeah, now I have the iFi ZenStream 3 working, and I also have the Cambridge Audio MXN10, and they're both connected to the WA7E. Just the Cambridge Audio MXN10, because it has a built-in DAC, it's going to use the analog output into the analog input of the W7E, which is the RCA input. And then the ZenStream 3 does not have a DAC built in, it just uses the digital output into the digital input of the W7E, which is the USB input. So yeah, now I have both of them hooked up to the W7E Fireflies, and that's hooked up to my HiFiMan Mini Shangri-La, of course. So yeah, I'm gonna check out both of them. I can just do an A/B test side by side, so I can kind of hook them both up at the same time. There's a convenient little switch here. I can switch between RCA and USB input, so I can just switch between the ZenStream 3 and the MXN10. So it's yeah, it's a convenient way for me to kind of A/B these two against each other. So now I'm going to test out these two and yeah, see which one I like better. I think the main differences sonically should be the architecture differences and circuit differences, of course. But they're both streamers. That's really what they do at its core. Main difference being that the Cambridge Audio has a built-in ES9033Q DAC inside of it. So this has a newer ESS Saber DAC, and it's using the analog output, the RCA, into the W7E, whereas the ZenStream 3 does not have a built-in DAC, so it's just using the digital out into the USB input of the W7E, which is using the internal ESS Saber DAC, which I don't know what it is actually, but it's not It's like an older ESS Saber DAC chip compared to the ES9033Q. That one's pretty new. So yeah, we'll see what the differences is. I'll basically do an A/B test between these two. I have both the software installed here, the apps. So I have the iFi Nexus app for the ZenStream 3 and the Stream Magic for the MXN10. Okay, so we'll see which one's better, the Cambridge or the iFi. The Cambridge is a bit more expensive, of course. It's $500 because it has a built-in DAC inside of it. ZenStream 3 is $400. It does not have a built-in DAC inside of it. Also, I'm going to put on the K2 technology of the ZenStream 3, you know, because it has that. So it's, in my experience, it makes the music a little bit more analog sounding or warmer, but just a little bit, you know, a little bit more musical sounding, for lack of a better word. So yeah, I'm going to A/B between these two and tell you guys what I think. So I'm going to use the same songs, of course. I'll try to volume match it as well. Okay. Let me switch over. I just switch the input now to RCA. Use the Cambridge. Alright, so now I've A/B tested these with a couple of different tracks, and I think I know what the difference is actually between these two. So I'm not going to say that one of them sounds better than the other, because it's a preference thing actually. So what I notice with this is actually kind of similar between the differences with my Low-2 Toggle Touch DAP and my Sony 1Z-M2 DAP. So these are both great DAPs, but they're different in their own ways. Like it's just a preference thing. So the Low-2 Toggle Touch has a more neutral reference type of tonality to it. So if I just want to listen to the song originally the artist, I guess, intended, I would use this. So this is a very reference neutral type of player, whereas the Sony 1Z-M2 has a more musical analog tonality to it that adds more dynamic and more dynamics, more harmonics, and just makes the music sound a little bit more alive. But this is a preference thing. You know, some people prefer more neutral reference type of sound, and some people prefer their music to sound a little bit more analog, warmer, and more dynamic. And I find like it's the same difference here. So the Cambridge Audio MXN10 sounds more neutral in reference to my ears. The ZenStream 3 sounds more musical, more alive, analog, warmer sounding, and more dynamics and harmonics, but it's more colored as a result. So it really depends on what you prefer here. It's not just the K2 technology. Like even without K2, I feel like it sounds more warmer and musical to begin with. But if you add K2 technology, if you turn that on, the difference is actually even more noticeable. So yeah, it's a preference thing. Cambridge MXN10, very neutral. The music just sounds a little bit flatter. You know, some people prefer that, right? Some people like the pure audiophiles. They don't want their tone or music to be colored in any way. They just want their equipment to just get out of the way. So I understand who this market is for. This is for the pure audiophiles who don't want their music to be colored. They don't want the amplifier or anything to color the sound. They just want to have the music originally the way it was, you know, it was mixed and mastered, and they hear it the way that it was intended, right? Which is just, this is more of a flatter, neutral reference type of tonality. Doesn't really color the sound in any way. And this is for those pure audiophiles. So the Cambridge MXN10, that's who it's for. Now, I'm actually the type of audiophile that prefers to have my music a little bit more color. That's why I actually have a tube amp here, right? Anyone who uses tube amps actually wants their tone to be a bit colored, right? If you don't want your tone to be colored, you use a solid state amp. Because what tubes do is they actually add harmonic distortion. So they actually color the tone a bit, and it's not actually... yeah, it's bad for measurements actually. People care about measurements and stuff like that. They don't want tube amps because it adds distortion. But for people like me, there's a group of audiophiles that care about, that actually want distortion. We want harmonic distortion, good distortion that is, not the bad distortion. The good distortion, that means we want to have more harmonic distortion, which adds a bit more color to the tone. It adds a little bit more musicality, right? Makes the tone a little bit warmer and not neutral, but it colors it, makes it more warmer and adds more dynamics and harmonics in my opinion. So that's who the ZenStream 3 is for. ZenStream 3, in my ears, it actually makes the music sound a little bit more dynamic, more harmonic distortion, more content. Yeah, it just sounds more alive in my opinion. So ZenStream 3 music sounds a little bit more alive, a little bit more dynamic compared to the MXN10, which sounds more flatter and neutral. But it's a preference thing. I'm not saying, you know, which one is actually better, depends on your preference. For my preference, I prefer the ZenStream 3 because I like my music to be a little bit more musical and colored. For the same reason, when I'm enjoying music, I actually use my ZM2 more, my 1ZM2 more than my low 2. My low 2 is actually, well, just for practical purposes, it's a more portable player. So I actually bringing this one more, but just for like sitting down, purely like enjoying my music, I prefer to have more musicality. So I prefer the 1ZM2 tonality, and I prefer the ZenStream 3 when I'm actually sitting down and enjoying my music. Of course, if I want to just test some equipment, headphones or IEMs and stuff, that's when the neutral reference stuff comes in handy. That way I don't have to deal with any kind of equipment coloring my tone. So yeah, personally I think there's a place for both. I personally prefer the ZenStream 3 because I like my music a little bit more musical, more dynamic, more harmonics basically. Now it's not a reference tone though, it colors the sound. But for people like pure audiophiles who are like, we don't want anything coloring the sound, we just want the music the way it originally was, you know, nothing added or taken away, then the MXN10 does a good job of that. It's very neutral in reference. So really it's a preference thing. But that's just the sound. I'm going to talk about other factors too. The ZenStream 3 is of course a lot smaller than the MXN10, but the MXN10 has a built-in DAC inside of it. So if you don't have an external DAC, then you probably want to use the MXN10. The ZenStream 3 does not come with a built-in DAC. Because of that, the MXN10 is also $100 more expensive because it has that built-in DAC inside of it. Now, I personally don't need to have the built-in DAC because the W70 has a built-in DAC, but, you know, for people who, it's a, you know, if you have something with an external DAC, then, you know, you have the choice, right, between the two. But if you don't have an external DAC, you'll probably have to go with the MXN10. Now, the other thing is the user interface for the apps. Now, iFi has the Nexus app. So the thing about the Nexus app is that, personally, I think there could be a lot of improvement, right? I talked about this already, how I don't really like it that much. So what I have to do is, yeah, I have to, like, go to either NAS, USB, media servers, artists. There's no way to actually even look at all the songs. I have to either go to artists or albums to do that, which doesn't necessarily include all the songs. You know, there's some songs that are missing some tags. So yeah, and I had to go through the artists and kind of scroll through them or search for them. And then otherwise, it's fairly responsive though, if I go there. And then, yeah, the music player is like this, and it's okay, you know, it does the job. But the thing I don't like the most about the Nexus app is basically the fact that I can't really search for all the songs. I have to go through artists, albums, genres, or something. And if I want to go through like technically I could just go through the USB itself and go through the files individually, but that takes a while because it takes a while to load and everything. So anyways, iFi Nexus app is okay. It's not great. You know, it was way better than the Advanced Paris app, that's for sure, but it's not saying much. That app's not even functional, in my opinion. So anyways, it's okay. Now the Stream Magic app, this one is, I would say, like in terms of navigating through USB files, is not quite as good as the ZenStream 3. Like I have to go to, like, this is what I have to do. Go to library, and then it has all these services, right? Like Tidal, Qobuz, Deezer, and I have to go to USB drives and then go to my USB drive here, and then I can go through this. But then it's not as fully featured as the Nexus app when it comes to actually searching through my USB drive. So yeah, I had to go through like individually all the files on my USB drive here, and it's not, yeah, there's no good way to actually even search through this. So I would say if you have an offline music library on a USB key or something like I do, the ZenStream 3 app is better. Nexus is actually better for searching through that. Cambridge, the Stream Magic app is not quite as good for searching through offline music. Now what the Cambridge is good at is actually the streaming stuff. So if you guys have most of your music library on Tidal or Qobuz or Deezer, Amazon Music, this stuff, the MXN10, I mean the Cambridge app, I should say, the Stream Magic app is better for this. The Nexus app yes, you can link up some of your streaming stuff, but it's not quite as good at doing that, I would say. So yeah, the stream like you have to go through the menu, and then you go to like, yeah, you have to add it here into the sidebar and go through that. So in terms of the apps, it depends on how you're listening to your music. If you have most of your music offline in a USB drive, a thumb drive like I do, the ZenStream 3 is better for navigation through that. If you have most of your music in a streaming library, like Tidal or Spotify, Deezer, whatever, then the Stream Magic app is better for that. They both can do, you know, the same things. Like, of course, ZenStream 3 can also do streaming, and MXN10 can also go through the offline music files too. But I'm just comparing, you know, relatively their strengths, right? The Stream Magic app is better for streaming, and the iFi Nexus is better for your local music playback, I would say. If you have a DLNA server as well, it's better for that. So yeah, that's really my opinions on this. Overall, I prefer the ZenStream 3 for my use case. I like my music a little bit more warmer, more musical, more harmonics, added harmonic content, and I don't mind that it colors the tone. I actually like that. I prefer the more musicality of it. And I also have most of my music files offline as well. So the ZenStream 3 is probably for me. It's a bonus that it's smaller and cheaper because I have a built-in DAC already. So yeah, I'd probably go with that. But you know, the MXN10 is good for other people as well. If you want your tone a little bit flatter, more neutral, more reference sounding, doesn't add or take away anything from your music, then the MXN10 is good for that. If you have most of your library on a streaming service, Tidal, Qobuz, Spotify, Deezer, then Stream Magic is a bit better for that. I find the interface a bit better for the streaming. And yeah, if you don't have an external DAC, this one has it built in. So yeah, it's really depends on what your needs are. So both are good for their own purposes. For me, I prefer the ZenStream 3, but you know, others might want the MXN10. So that's it, guys. It's a quick little comparison between these two. So now that I got my iFi ZenStream 3 fixed, I can kind of do this comparison. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Yeah, finally got my ZenStream 3 fixed, and I'll do a sound comparison test as well, so you guys maybe you can hear the difference or not. Yeah, let me know if you can. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching. The one unfortunate thing about this video is that the Advanced Paris amp did not, that streamer did not pan out very well. But I could say at least the, so I can't recommend the Advanced Paris one just because of the app alone, it sucks. But MXN10 versus ZenStream 3, that's a pretty interesting shootout here. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. As always, thanks for watching.
Peace. life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, didn't know what I would find there. Another road where maybe I could see another side there. Ooh, and then I suddenly see, ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. I was alone, I took a ride, didn't know what I would find there. Another road where maybe I could see another side there. Ooh, and then I suddenly see, ooh, and then I tell you that I need you every single day of my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life. Got to get you into my life, into my life.